Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're having a good day. Here's a couple jokes. What kind of tree fits in your hand? What kind of tree fits in your hand? A palm tree. Then why did the cookie go to the hospital? Why did the cookie go to the hospital? Because he felt crummy. All right. The book today is Robin Hood and the Great Coach Robbery. Long ago there was a good king named Richard. King Richard went away to war, so his evil brother, Prince John, ruled the kingdom. Prince John liked living in Richard's castle, and he liked wearing Richard's crown, but he liked Richard's gold most of all. He had the royal soldiers guard the gold. Prince John even slept with the gold. He also shared his room with his servant, Sir Hiss. Sir Hiss hissed whenever he talked, and he talked all the time. But most of the time the prince was too busy thinking about gold to listen to Sir Hiss. "I want more gold," roared Prince John. He sent the sheriff to all the towns. The people had to give him their last gold coins. Soon the people were poor, and Prince John was rich. But there was someone who could help the poor. His name was Robin Hood. He lived in Sherwood Forest with his band of merry men. Robin and his men didn't like what Prince John was doing. "People don't have enough money to buy food," said Robin's best friend, Little John. "We'll have to teach Prince John a lesson," replied Robin Hood. So late one night, Robin Hood and Little John went to the castle. They waited for a cloud to cover the moon. Then they climbed into the castle. "The guards are asleep," whispered Robin Hood. The two friends sneaked into Prince John's room. Prince John and Sir Hiss were fast asleep too. "Snore hiss, snore hiss," snored Sir Hiss. Robin Hood and Little John took all the gold they could carry. The next day Robin Hood and Little John gave the gold back to the people. They told them to buy food and clothes. "Spend all the money," Robin said, "then the sheriff won't be able to take it back." Prince John still had a lot of gold, but now little was missing. That made him very angry. "Bandits are stealing my gold," he shouted. Prince John called for the sheriff. He told him to find the bandits. "Search until you find them," Prince John ordered. The sheriff knew that Robin Hood was the thief, so he and his soldiers searched Sherwood Forest. They looked behind trees, they looked under bushes, they looked everywhere except up. Robin Hood and Little John were hiding in a tree. The sheriff couldn't find them anywhere, so he returned to the castle. Prince John decided he would get more gold by himself. The next day he went out in the royal coach. The poor people had to give their gold back to Prince John. Soon the royal treasure chest was filled with gold. But Robin Hood and Little John were watching the prince. Robin had an idea. "Come on, Little John, we need to change clothes," Robin said. The two friends raced back home. Robin opened a trunk full of old clothes. He gave Little John a dress, a scarf, and a wig. "Put these on." Little John didn't want to wear a dress. "Can't we just be bandits?" he complained, but he put on the dress anyway. Inside the royal coach, Prince John was playing with his gold. He was very happy. "You have a talent for getting gold," Sir Hiss told him. The greedy prince grinned. "You know what I always say. Rob the poor to feed the rich." Prince John and Sir Hiss laughed and laughed. Just then they heard someone calling. "Yoo-hoo, Prince John! May I tell you your fortune?" cooed Robin Hood. He sounded just like an old woman. Prince John loved to hear about himself, so he shouted, "Stop the coach!" Sir Hiss didn't like the way the fortune-tellers looked. "What if they are bandits?" he whispered. "Bandits in dresses? Really, Sir Hiss, you worry too much," the prince said. Prince John invited the fortune-tellers into the royal coach. He let them kiss his royal hand. So Robin and Little John stole the royal jewels from the royal rings. Sir Hiss saw what happened, but Prince John did not. Sir Hiss tried to warn Prince John. "Sire, did you see what they—" "Stop, Sir Hiss! Stop tickling my ear," the prince snapped. Prince John grabbed Sir Hiss and tied him in a knot. "Sir Hiss, you have hissed your last hiss," Prince John shouted. He stuffed Sir Hiss into a basket. Prince John put a lid on the basket, then he sat on the lid. Robin Hood sat across from Prince John. He waved his hands, then he called for the spirits to tell him Prince John's fortune. "Yoo-hoo, spirits, come to us," Robin said. Little John was outside the coach. He held a balloon on a stick. The balloon was full of fireflies. When he heard Robin call for the spirits, Little John poked the balloon through the royal curtain. "Look, sire, look!" shouted Robin. "The spirits are here in a magic ball." "Floating spirits!" cried Prince John. Robin looked into the balloon. "I see a face in the magic ball. It is a royal face, a kind, handsome, lovable, wise, and cuddly face." "That's me," said Prince John. Robin told Prince John to close his eyes. "You will have lots of gold and jewels," Robin said. While he talked, Robin passed sacks of gold to Little John. Little John noticed that the coach's hubcaps were pure gold, so he took them off the royal wheels. While Robin was pretending to tell the prince's fortune, Little John looked around. "Snore, snore," snored the royal guards. They were all fast asleep. That gave Little John an idea. He drilled a hole in the bottom of the treasure chest. Clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clank. The coins fell out through the hole. Little John took all the gold. "Snore, snore," snored the royal guards. They were still fast asleep. Suddenly Robin Hood jumped out of the coach. "We're off, Little John," he shouted. The two friends ran back into the forest. They had the royal gold and the royal jewels. Robin even had the royal robe. When Prince John opened his eyes, the fortune-tellers were gone, and so were his gold, his jewels, and his robe. All Prince John had left was his royal underwear. "I've been robbed," Prince John yelled. "After them, you fools!" The royal coach bearers ran, but there were no hubcaps holding the wheels on, so the royal coach fell with a big crash. Prince John and Sir Hiss went flying out of the royal coach. They landed in a mud puddle with a loud splat. "No, no, no," cried Prince John when he saw the hole in the treasure chest. "Those bandits took all my gold." Sir Hiss hissed. "I knew this would happen. I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen." "Be quiet," Prince John growled, "or I'll tie you in another knot." Now Prince John was really angry, and he stayed angry. Back at the castle, he yelled at the sheriff. "Get me the names of those bandits." "They are Robin Hood and Little John," said the sheriff. "They are friends of the poor." "They are outlaws." Prince John shouted. "Find them and put them in jail." But that never happened. Robin Hood and Little John went right on taking Prince John's gold and giving it back to the poor. The poor people were grateful. They threw a party for Robin Hood and his friends. And Robin Hood, Little John, and all the good people they helped lived happily ever after in Sherwood Forest. The end. Hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the book, Robin Hood. See you guys next time. Bye.